No, you're not seeing things. You're not imagining things. Well, you are seeing things. But yes, Decked Up, a gaming tech podcast, Hawaii's #1 podcast for tech and gaming, is back officially. I'm back off of my almost year hiatus. And I know I threw out an episode saying while I was gone for a bit a couple months ago, but we're back. And we're going to be talking today about the Lenovo Legion Go S and the upcoming Lenovo Legion Go 2. All right, let's get on into it. In the next episode, Decked Up and Gaming and Tech Podcasts. What's up, everybody? Mekel Kasanova here, the host of DeckedUP, a Gaming Tech Podcast. Welcome back. I know it's been a while since we have put out an episode. At one point, man, we put out episodes like multiple per week, and it was just going and going and going. And you know, I will address this because I respect you guys, and I honestly, as an audience, I wouldn't be where I am without you guys. I got burnt out. For those who didn't catch the last episode a couple months ago, I literally said it. I got burnt out. I got tired of dealing with, other creators in the, at the time, Steam Deck feel. And it just got to a point where I was just like, I wasn't really happy and enjoying the content creation process at that point. So all that being said, we're not talking about that anymore. We're moving on. 2025. The podcast is back. We're back full throttle. Couple things I want to announce. I just brokered a deal with a company out here in Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii, specifically Waikiki, Hawaii, where I'm now going to have a podcast studio. Now, how frequently I'm going to be able to use that and utilize it to the full extent is probably going to be for specific episodes, mainly because I have to work around my daughter's schedule. So I think the last time I made an episode, I wasn't at the time. My daughter wasn't at the time. My youngest daughter, that is, she wasn't in school. So now that she is, I'm kind of like, all right, well, I have to work around her schedule. So that out of the way, yes, I have a studio. I'm going to be recording episodes of this show as well as my main show, which you guys, if you haven't checked it out, it's also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all the different podcast outlets, the Kasanova podcast, the #1 podcast in Hawaii. And I interview voice actors, celebrities, game developers, and so many more people. So that show is going to be filmed out of there. Another show is going to be filmed out of there. It's also going to be Podcast Across Worlds, which I do with Lehua Superfina. We're going to be getting back into it. We're going to be doing a lot of things. We got work we got to put in this year. Anyways, yes, you guys see there's a Ulafala behind me because I am the high chief of my family. No lie whatsoever. For my 20, no. I took 10 years off my age. I went from 3 to 2. Anyway, for my 36th birthday, the elders of my village, because I'm originally from Mosula, Satupatea, and Savai'i, which is Western Samoa. And so the elders of my village actually came down, and they gave me a title of high chief, and also gave me my Ulafala, which you see in the back. So yes, I'm a high chief in my native homeland. So it's just pretty cool. Anyways, all that being said, yeah. Getting back on, I lost my train of thought, but we're gonna get back on topic today. I want to talk about the Lenovo Legion Go S. Now, we've had for months now. For months, we have had so many different speculations and all this other stuff about this device, and we just didn't know, hey, is it real? Is it actually going to be happening? Because, there's leaks, all this other kind of leaks, kind of like there are leaks with the new Nintendo Switch, whatever it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be, allegedly, we're supposed to get an announcement on the 17th of this month, and the release date is March 3rd for the new Switch. That is the from one of the leakers who has been 1000% accurate for everything else. Anyways, but how that correlates into the Legion Go S. So we've had rumors about a new Lenovo Legion Go for quite some time. And now it has officially, as of CES, it has officially been announced. Let's go ahead and pull up the page. As you can see here, this is what we're working with. Trying to go full screen. Boom, there we go. All right, so this is Lenovo's official website. And oh yes, I will be getting I will be getting, because there's two different Lenovo Legion Go's S's. There's going to be one that's going to have Windows and one that's going to have SteamOS natively, as Lenovo is partnering with Valve to make the first official non-Steam Deck device have SteamOS. So that's pretty cool. And yes, Lenovo's going to be sending me both. I already been talking with them. And if y'all don't know, I am a Lenovo Legion partner. I don't know if I announced that before, but yes, I'm partnered with them. I'm also partnered with Acer. I just netted a deal, a partnership with Alienware / Dell, as well as HP and HP Omen. So we're making moves. And also Asus is on its way. We're working with them too. So we got a lot of things going. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this Lenovo Legion Go S. Tagline: all games, all places, all yours. It says dive into gaming with this power-packed handheld built to give you console-level performance anywhere you go. Shred on the best games with exclusive AMD Ryzen Z2 Go. See the whole battlefield on an 8-inch WUXGA, which is like a 2K screen, Lenovo Pure Sight display. It says play with precision with Lenovo True Strike controllers and adjustable trigger switches. Now, looking at this right here, so we're going to be looking at, as y'all can see, hey, folks, guys, as you can see, they already fixed the one thing that I kept complaining the absolute most about on the original Lenovo Legion Go, which was that trash D-pad. Now they have fixed it, and this is similar to, it looks like a very similar D-pad that we're seeing on the ROG Ally X. That's the one that this looks the most like, if I'm being honest. And then it still has the, as far as I know, with the True Strike controllers, I believe these are gonna still be the whatchamacallit, the Hall effects like they have in the original one. So you don't have to worry about, it has a lower potentiality of having stick drift, because of, instead of using potentiometer sticks, is using magnetic ones, which most cases the magnetic ones are a little bit looser than potentiometer sticks, but you don't have to worry about, for the most part, typically you don't have to worry about seeing stick drift or experiencing it. All right, so let's go ahead and look at it. So this is the creamy white one, and as far as I know, it comes in 3 colors. There's black, white, and I believe gray, like a dark gray. So it's pretty cool. And let's go ahead. So this is from the front. From the side. Hey, you want it from the back? I had to I had to quote some P. Pablo there. Hey, anyway, so you got modular button on the back, plus you got the switches. So you got your trigger stop switches. It does not look like it has a kickstand. So if you're wanting to like stand it kind of like the current one, the current Lenovo Legion Go, you're probably gonna have to get something from what is it, the company called Mechanism that does the they did the, it's kind of like a clip-on thing. So you might have to get one of those. So although I'm kind of the way this is built, I'm looking at the back of it, I'm like, all right, you don't want to block the ventilation grills or anything like that. All right, so let's look at it from another side. So looks good from the side, looks good from the right side. All right, looking at the top here, let's go full screen. All right, looking at the top. So I'm seeing, I gotta, I'm a little older, so I gotta zoom in. All right, so The original Lenovo Legion Go had two USB ports, right? USB-C ports, and they were both good for charging as well as data transfer and connecting to docks. With the original Lenovo Legion Go, as you guys remember, it had the one port on the top, one port on the bottom, and then you also had your micro SD card slot on the top. Whereas with this one, two slots, two USB-C slots on the top. And you got a headphone jack, volume rocker, power button, ventilation grill up top, which means if it's up top, then that means that the micro SD card is on the bottom, which is away from anything that could potentially fry your micro SD cards, as we all experience, or not all of us, majority of us experience with the ROG Ally. So it looks like from the standpoint of ventilation, you've got intakes on the back. You got the two intakes on the back, and then you got your exhausts on the top. So they definitely designed this so that it is going to maintain, not like dissipate, like it's not going to retain heat. So it's going to oscillate the heat, oscillate air in to push the heat out. It's just like oscillation. So that right there, I'm already like, yeah, I'm digging that. All right. Looking from the other side, I'm liking it. I'm liking that it's a smaller variation. I love my Legion Go, but it's a chunky boy. I kind of want something a little bit more pocketable, right? Which actually pushed me back to using the ROG Ally, which, performance-wise, ROG Ally does perform better than Legion Go in many ways. But I kind of want to get an ROG Ally X just because of that boost in RAM and performance, which we're going to get to when we're talking about this too. All right, so we go so you can see the top. All right, let's keep going with the pictures. And yeah, okay, that's all the pictures. Yep, so that's the top. All right, let's go ahead and exit out of this, go back over here, let's scroll down. All right, so features. Let's go over the feature set. So I want to read over all this with you guys and then give you guys my I typically do that. So, but for anyone who's new, I like to go over everything and then give the technical breakdown. All right, so we're looking at this, and I'm over here like, where is my mouse? Because it's kind of hard to see on this white background. All right, exhilarating speed and performance, bringing console class gaming to handheld PC gaming. Legion Go S boasts AMD's exclusive Z2 Go processor and Zen 3 architecture. Okay, so it's pretty powerful, offering ultra responsive gameplay powered by 4 CPU cores and 8 threads, so you can enjoy 1200p. Oh, so I was wrong. It's not 1440p, so 1200p. All right, so it's a step down from the Lenovo Legion Go, which was 2K. 1200p is still better. It's still better than 1920 by 1080. So it's a high resolution, but it's still not touching. All right. Anyway, enjoy 1200p gaming fueled by AMD Radeon graphics, built on AMD RDNA 2 architecture. It transforms your game's visuals and cutting-edge technologies like Radeon Super Resolution, Fidelity FX, Super Resolution AFMF. All right, cool. All right, excited about that. Then, of course, they're going to give you 3 months of Xbox Game Pass. All right, cool. Got a thread plug in there. Says, all right, so we're looking at the display. Lenovo PureSight gaming display. Catch every detail. So they want to make sure you can see this from every angle. All right, so the 8-inch UXGA display. So enjoy 1920 by 1200 resolution on a expensive 8-inch screen with a 16 by 10 aspect ratio and native landscape. This PureSight display. All right, let me back it out a little bit. Sorry, y'all. It is a little bit too close in. I'm over here like, oh, I can't see. Let me peek around. Anyway, All right, so enjoy 1920 by 1200 resolution on an expansive screen with a 16 by 10 aspect ratio and native landscape. The superior sight display provides a 37% larger viewing area than average gaming handhelds, making every moment ultra vibrant and immersive. So it's got a 120 hertz refresh rate. So I'll step down. If you guys remember, the Lenovo Legion Go was 144 hertz, so this is now down to 120 hertz, which is good. So this is matching up with the ROG Ally. Okay, cool. And it's got VRR, so you got the variable refresh rate too. So that was something that people were complaining about that was missing from the Legion Go. So now it's here. So I'm happy about that. So it says enjoy the 120 hertz variable refresh rate. It I butchered that. Sorry, dyslexia was like, "Hi, let me mess this up for you." Anyway, the 120 hertz variable refresh rate display delivers buttery smooth visuals, ensuring you never miss a beat during fast-paced gameplay. Experience seamless motion and ultra clear graphics. Oh, that's another thing looks like they fixed was the speakers. You got the two grills on the front, so anyone who had the Legion Go, you guys know that the speakers were like the weakest thing on that, especially compared to the ROG Ally. But looks like they definitely fixed that. It says vivid color accuracy with 100% sRGB color accuracy and 500 nit brightness. Colors pop with vibrant detail and clarity, enhancing your gaming experience. All right, now they're going to go over the thermals. Okay, so it says unlock Epic Gaming. This is advanced thermal technology, the ultimate cooling perk. Unlock Epic Gaming with the Lenovo Legion Go S, continuing its legacy of handheld innovation. It boasts the relentless Legion cold front tech with an enormous fan and bigger heat sinks. It crushes heat waves, ensuring legendary performance. Stay cool and unstoppable as cutting-edge 3D fans whisk heat away, keeping you in the game wherever your dreams take you. All right, so it's like I said, oscillating. So you're pulling in through the back and pushing out through the top. That's the oscillation I was talking about. All right, Legion True Strike. Zeroed in controls. So it says conquer every game with ergonomic Legion True Strike controllers, flaunting RGB lighting. They blend style and functional seamlessly and effortlessly switch between short and long presses with the adjustable trigger for different play scenarios. Experience fluid control with Hall Effect RGB joysticks. Yeah, told you guys. I figured they were going to include that. Hall Effects has become the standard, and especially in something like this, you know, think about it. If you get stick drift on something like the Steam Deck OLED, RG Ally, um, it's a bit of a pain to go through the process if you're not tech savvy to have to switch out those potentiometer sticks in order to fit in it something else, right? So in this case, you don't have to worry about it. You got a high profile device, and now you can, all you got to do is like, all right, just adjust to the fact that, the magnetic Hall Effect sticks are not as tense as potentiometers, but they still do the job. They do a really damn good job. So you just got to get used to that. But, for that price, for what any of these handheld gaming PCs are going for, you want to have Hall Effects at this point. There's no reason not to put that in there. I'm wondering if it's their own in-house or is it Ghillie kit. I won't know unless I do a teardown. And you guys know I'm not one to really do the teardown. I might do it for my own time. I don't know. All right. It says experience fluid control with Hall Effect RGB joysticks and unleash mighty combos with the large pivot D-pad. Now, I'm happy that they include this D-pad. This looks exactly like the one that's included with the ROG Ally X, which that was great for fighting games. So that was the one thing I hated about trying to play fighting games on the Lenovo Legion Go is like the D-pad was just horrible. It was horrible for fighting games. It wasn't even really that great for platforms either. And that was just one of the sticking points, but I'm glad that they fixed that. All right, and then the button layout for options, select, start, and the Legion button, they're all up top. I like that. And then you got the little micro thumb pad there, so I dig it. All right. Designed for grinding on the go. Ergonomic excellence. Let me pull it up. It says unleash your potential with the streamlined ergonomic unibody design built for all day comfort. Their anti-slip texture ensures you stay in control during the fiercest battles. Game like a boss with unmatched grip and precision. It's got adaptive precision, master every strike or every scenario with an adjustable trigger switch, effortlessly tailor your trigger response for FPS or racing games, switching between short and long presses with ease, customizing gameplay, and dominate. Smooth and stylish. All right, going over that. Combo powerhouse. Okay, cool. We did all that. The thing I have questions about is the battery life. Okay. Let's see. I need to zoom out to get the rest of that. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Connected and primed for battle. Okay. All right, so I was saying I was curious about the battery life, right? All right, so stay unstoppable with a 55.5 watt hour battery and Rapid Charge Pro, refueling swiftly. The travel ready 65 watt adapter is airline approved. Use the Legion Space hotkey to fine tune your power settings and extend your play without pause. So, all right, so with the 55.5 watt hour battery, with this also having a slimmer profile and lower resolution screen to the Lenovo Legion Go, which that gave you some really good playtime, depending on what you're playing. If you're playing a AAA game at lower settings on the Legion Go, you can get 2 to 2.5 hours. So if you're really good, you can squeeze out 3, especially if you tinker with your battery settings. Indie games and previous generation titles, indie games and retro games, you could easily get, 5-6 hours. And, well, yeah, I average that, but then I also put it on power saving when I'm doing that too. And then previous generation games get, 3.5, 4.5 hours. So this is going to give you probably, if I'm going to estimate this, I'm going to say this is probably going to give you on the go for 4.5 hours on the go. But that's also depending upon what you're playing. So keep that in mind too. So I'm happy it's got that battery. So power, space, and speed. Experience unbeatable gaming with up to, okay, keyword there, up to 32 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory and 1 terabyte PCIe. Gen 4 storage on the Lenovo Legion Go S. Load games instantly and expand your storage via micro SD card for unparalleled speed and space from the start. Just keep in mind, if you're going to utilize a micro SD card, that the read-write speeds are not as fast as a SSD. So keep that in mind. Probably keep some of your older generation games, maybe some of your emulation. A lot of y'all are going to be emulating, or your retro games. Make sure that they are on that and not your AAA games. Some of the AAA games can run off of it, not going to lie, but you might run into some issues. All right, connect and go. Legion Go S boasts dual USB 4 Type-C ports for effortless connectivity with docks and monitors via DisplayPort 1.4. Enjoy rapid 40 gigabytes gigabytes per second file transfers, or elevate your game with the eGPU support, adapting to any setup for supreme versatility. All right, so they pull, hey, that's cool, versatility. Lag-free and locked. Answer matches with Wi-Fi 6E. Okay, so granted, unless you're really into tech and you're a tech head or you're in the tech space, most people don't even have a Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 6E. A lot of people are using Wi-Fi 4 and Wi-Fi 5 routers. But it would have been nice for them to have this come out the gate with like Wi-Fi 7. But 6E is fast. If you've got the router and the network to support it, then you'll be fine. It's perfectly fine. I just wish it would have had Wi-Fi 7. Anyway, let's see. Dock Legion Go S to play on TV or gaming monitor and link controllers and headsets via Bluetooth 5.3. Nice. I'm glad it's got Bluetooth 5.3. Legion Space boosts network, cutting latency for fluid gameplay anywhere. Nice. says unleash epic sound. Okay, so they address that issue. Like I was saying earlier, the sound was an issue. Experience front-firing immersive audio and clear chat function via built-in mics. Go wireless with Legion E510 headphones for ultimate freedom. Okay, so they're pushing that. So I got to reach out and be like, hey, can I get those headphones too? I'll review them too. All right, so we went through all that. Legion Space, we're all familiar with it. Ecosystem, we all know about that. All right, so looking at more of the technical details. So the key wording was up to when it came to the RAM and the memory, but here it just says 32 gigs. So I'm assuming it's gonna just default with 32 gigabytes of 6400 megahertz LPDDR5X, which that's already a leap over everything else that's on the market right now as far as a handheld gaming PC. With the exception, I think the one that doesn't have 32, I think, now, correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, or if you're listening to the podcast, go to the comments section of the podcast and correct me, or give me your opinion. But I believe the MSI Claw has 32 gigabytes of RAM. I don't think it's the specific RAM, but it does have 32 gigabytes. Whereas everything else is 16 gigs. I believe the ROG Ally X is 24 gigs of RAM, but 32 gigs, that's definitely gonna be crazy. I'm happy with that. 3-cell battery, cool. All right, audio, headset combo, da da da. Only 1.6 pounds. Wow, that's super lightweight for all that power that it has. Okay, 10-point touchscreen, dimensions. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, all for it. Micro SD card slots on the bottom. That's a great place for it. That's what's up. All right, so this is dropping. As far as I know, there are two different models of this Legion Go S. As I mentioned at the start of the show, there's two different models, and I'll go ahead and elaborate more on that here. But you've got the Windows one, which is the one that's releasing first. So it's going to have Windows 11, and basically just think of your standard Lenovo Legion Go just miniaturized, right? And then there is the one that's going to have SteamOS, which I think truthfully, I think that one's going to be the one that's going to sell like crazy, to a point that I could actually see people buying that more than buying the Steam Deck, just because one thing Valve doesn't have that I've been saying for what, the last 3.5, almost 4 years, is that you need to have your product being sold in stores. Now, I know in some other countries that's a thing, but here in America specifically, they don't really have brick and mortar stores that are selling it. You can't walk into Best Buy and get a Steam Deck. You can get Steam Deck accessories if you walk into Best Buy, but you can't. You can get refurbished Steam Decks from GameStop, but you can't, buy it brand new. So the fact that they have the model that is running SteamOS, and it's going to have all the same specs that we're seeing here. My thing would be, why would you get a Steam Deck when you can buy that? You can walk in a store and easily walk into Best Buy, and just pick it up. Probably even a Target too. So, and the pricing, I heard the pricing for this is going to be $499. So if it's $499, it's already in the bracket of competing with the Steam Deck OLED. So the difference is you're not getting an OLED screen, which is something a lot of people are going to personally prefer because OLED screens just look gorgeous. but you're getting a way more powerful device where you're not going to have to deal with all the tinkering. Oh, you might have to do some tinkering. I'm not going to lie and say you're not going to have to. You're probably going to have to do some tinkering for specific things, but I think with the power behind it, you're going to be able to easily just run a lot of games that you just could not run on the Steam Deck. Then there's also still the issue that certain games are going to have anti-cheat, which isn't, I don't think there's been an official like workaround or work through with that, or working with companies for the anti-cheat to get that to work without some type of issue. I know there's like people were saying they were getting banned on Call of Duty, but that was also happening with people playing Call of Duty on the Lenovo Legion Go as well as the RG Ally. So I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't had any issues, and I play Call of Duty on PC without any issues. So I don't know. But I will say this. Um, I think as an overall buy, this is just a way better value than buying a Steam Deck, especially if it's coming in at $499 with that power under the hood and SteamOS. I think for people who don't want to tinker with Windows, this is going to be perfect for them. Perfect. It's just magnifique. It's going to be absolutely stellar. And I see a lot of people want to dive in and utilize that. The screen's going to be great. Yeah, it's not an OLED screen, but it's still a beautiful screen nonetheless. Um, it's not 2K, but it is a step above 1080p, being 1920 by 1200, so it's a higher resolution. The aspect ratio is not going to be 16 by 9, it's going to be 16 by 10, so um, slightly better dimensions. I don't really see really an issue because even the Steam Deck, even with the OLED, is still 720p. So this is, unless you do that, what is it, the 8 screen HD or whatever, that one, you had to take it apart and install it, unless you wanted to go that route. But I think for what it is, for what you're getting, you know, the Hall effect sticks, RGB Hall effect sticks. You got the True Strike controllers with the trigger stops on them, which kind of I'm hoping the RG, not the RG, but the Lenovo Legion Go 2 maintains a detachable Joy-Con thing, because that was kind of and I didn't use it a whole lot, but it was a neat little thing that it had. So I think for everything that this is gonna have, plus it has the 3 different colors. I know it's not showing it here on on their website, but there are 3 colors. There's black, there's gray, and then there's this creamy white. Let me see if they're showing any of the other devices. So you got the Legion Go S. All right, so they're not showing the other one yet. All right, so I'm gonna have to pull that up because I remember they did speak about this at CES. So let me try and pull it up. Legion Go. All right, so got to pull up the Forbes article. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay. I'm gonna zoom on in a little bit because I'm getting old, guys. I'm almost 40. It's getting hard to see this stuff. All right, let me move my camera. Go back. Boom. Let's move this over here so we can see. All right. It says Lenovo reveals Legion Go 2 plus the Legion Go S details you probably missed. All right, let's look at it. And this article was written by Jason Evangelo. Shout out to him, senior contributor over at Forbes. Says there's always an absolute deluge of exciting announcements. Sorry, guys, my dyslexia is kicking my ass right now. All right, there's always an absolute deluge of exciting announcements coming out of CES. As a result, press normally has to focus on the high-level details and move on, while the smaller details either get skipped or touched on later. Now that the major talking points around the Legion Go 2 and Legion Go S are out, actually, let's click on that because I want to see. All right. Legion Go 2. Here we go. There we go. We're going to look at this article. We'll go back to the other, and then we'll wrap up from there. Got to give y'all a meaty first episode back for the year. All right. So this is what it looks like. I like the look of this. It's look way more ergonomic than the current one. So I'm excited about that. All right, so the stage is set for the next generation of PC gaming handhelds, and 2025 is already shaping up to be a wild ride. In addition to new Ryzen Z2 processors from AMD, we have confirmation and details surrounding Legion Go. Okay, all right, we know about that. All right, so Legion Go 2. That's because Legion Go 2 represents a meaningful upgrade in both power, battery capacity, and quality of life features. So welcome, jolt to the handheld market, which was starting to feel underpowered in 2024. It really was, not gonna lie. Consider that the Ryzen Z2 Extreme powering the flagship model is a step up in architecture, Zen 4 to Zen 5, and graphics capability from 12 to 16 graphics cores and RDNA 3.5. Screen is now a native landscape 16 by 10 OLED display with variable refresh rate. So Legion Go 2 has that OLED screen. Okay. We cooking right now. We cooking with the VRR. We cooking. Lenovo is cooking. They cooking up. We about to eat good. All right, it says the storage capacity doubles from 1 terabyte to 2 terabytes, not including your micro SD card. So you could get you could pick up a 2 terabyte micro SD card and get the 2 terabyte model, and you literally would have 4 terabytes of storage on. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm gonna need all of that. Okay. All right. Let's see. The maximum memory doubles from 16 to 32 gigabytes. Battery capacity increases by a sizable 50%, and from 49.2 watt hour to 70. Woo-wee! 74 watt hour battery. Man, we about to be gaming up in here. We ain't even got to worry about a charger or anything. Nah, we gonna go to distance. Okay. And Lenovo has thankfully rounded the corners of the still detachable True Strike controllers and tweaked the overall design to be more ergonomic. My one complaint about the original was that the bottom of the controllers dug into my palms. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that either. It looks like Lenovo is taking that area of feedback to heart. Yeah, it looks like everything that we had complaints about or criticisms about, they were like, hey, let me go touch on that. No diddy. Lenovo says that there will also be a full redesign of the Legion Space software that unifies all Lenovo Legion device settings, syncs with all Lenovo Legion ecosystem devices, provides access to all games in one library, and features a suite of new AI-powered features that help gamers up their game, their streams, and their enjoyment. Okay, let's keep going. It's a lot, and I'm genuinely enthusiastic to spend some quality time with it, which I say as a card-carrying Steam Deck fan. There's, however, a catch. What we're seeing at CES 2025 is a prototype and not the final design. Specs they mentioned are finalized, but Lenovo says that the final production details are still being refined. All right. Okay, so this is what it looks like. All right. Okay, so I was saying I wanted the Legion Go 2 to retain that controller mouse thing setup that you can do with the detachable Joy-Con. I'm just gonna call them Joy-Cons, guys. That's just what we gonna call them. All right, so they retain that. So 3 of those final details are pricing, port details, and audio specs, all currently to be decided. But from what we see here from the prototype, they retain that, which is one of my favorite features of it, especially if you play a lot of shooters. It's shooters and MMOs and RTSs. That makes it so much more wieldy. So I'm excited for that. It says there might be a second catch depending on your perspective. The Legion Go will have a resolution of 1920 by 1200 on its 8.8-inch display. A downgrade from the original Legion Go is 2560 by 1600. Okay. So this is they're getting rid of the 2K screen. Honestly, I'm not really mad about it because on this size device, you don't really need 2K. I'm fine with 1920 by 1200 with OLED over 2K resolution any day, especially with the fact that it's now going to have variable refresh rate. I cannot be mad about that. Not whatsoever. Says I can see this being harshly criticized by a vocal minority, but it's absolutely the right call to maximize battery life and target a realistic in-game resolution. Yes, because there's no point. That's one of the things that just got me about the 2K screen on the original Legion Go is like, yeah, I can push it to 2K, but at the same time, I can't really push the graphics to match that. You know what I mean? You got to put everything on low setting just to get games to run. So like, why do I need 2K to look at janky visuals? All right, going forward, it says Lenovo confirmed to me in an email conversation that this change was based on user feedback. Side note, as an amusing contrast to this, it appears Acer might have to learn the same lesson with this announced Nitro Blaze 8 and Nitro Blaze 11, which both boast an ambitious 2560 by 1600 resolution, which you'll see. I will be getting both of those in to do reviews, so stay tuned for that if you haven't already. If you're on the YouTube, sub to the channel, and if you're listening on audio, make sure to follow the show. We're definitely going to be covering that. It says Lenovo plans to launch the Legion Go worldwide sometime in 2025, but no date or release window has been set. Probably going to be end of the year. It's going to be an end of the year thing. And here's why I'm going to say this is going to be end of the year for those who may not get it. The reason from a business decision, and this is not, yes, I'm a Lenovo Legion partner, but the reason that they will drop this towards the end of the year, one, it needs to come out when the original one came out, which is what, set between like September and December, right? Two, with the Legion Go S coming out, you don't want to cannibalize that product. Because I can see a lot of people saying like, hey, I don't have to spend more money and get that. Now, speculation is that Legion Go S is going to be about $400, right? So the Legion Go 2, I'm going to say this is going to be like a $700 to $800 product. So it's a big boy price for you to play the big boys. You know, hey, you can't be mad about the price if you know, it ain't tricking if you got it. And if you got it, cool. If you ain't got it, find a way to get it or move on and don't bitch and complain about it. But nonetheless, with them having two different variations of the Legion Go S, the Windows one and the one that is for the SteamOS, you do not want to cannibalize that because those are two completely different SKUs. They're going to want to have that be out, and that's going to tide you over until the end of the year when this one drops. I'll say this. So y'all can quote me on this. So if I'm wrong, hey, y'all can light my ass up, pause, no diddy. But if I'm right, I want all the flowers, and I want y'all to acknowledge me, okay? All right, so with that being said, that's my thoughts on that. So price and availability, $700 to $800 for this. I think there's only going to be one unit. It's going to be a 2 terabyte model. I don't think they need to even bother with trying to do a 1 terabyte, just make a 2 terabyte model. And, you know, I'm completely fine with the drop in resolution. I already by default, I turn the resolution down on the one I have. I don't even do the 2560 by 1600. I just drop it down to 1080p. So that's fine with me. Plus it's an OLED. Now, I don't think this is going to have a SteamOS variation. It would be cool if it had it, but I don't think it's going to have it, truthfully. We'll see. I think if they did make this with the SteamOS, that'd be a super powerful. It would also make people not want to get another Steam Deck. I don't think Steam's gonna or Valve's gonna go for power. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about all this, but I think the Go S is going to be a template to see how well a non-Steam Deck with SteamOS device will sell. I think it's gonna sell like hotcakes, to be honest. All right, so we read that article. Let's go back to the original article. And it says, I wanted to circle back and highlight a bunch of interesting information that the Lenovo Legion community team just shared. Most of the info comes courtesy of Lenovo Senior Community Manager Ben Green, who hosted a 2-hour live stream yesterday about all things Legion gaming. Green and his colleague Benjamin Myers, who is Senior Product Manager at Lenovo, fielded questions from chat, which were predominantly about the 2025 Legion Go family. Before we get into it, I'll lead with something that made a positive impression on me. Myers said he's been constantly funneling feedback from all corners of the Legion community. Again, dyslexia. To his global counterparts and key decision makers internally. He expressed that many of the new features, such as VRR OLED on the Legion Go 2, downscale native resolution of 1920 by 1200, improved cooling, improved D-pad, and even the introduction of SteamOS were heavily influenced by community feedback. Okay, cool. Says below the noteworthy details I gleaned from the live stream, which you can watch anytime. It's in, all right, I'll drop the link if you guys want to check that in the description. All right, so Legion Go 2 plus Legion Go S display and driver updates. Now that the display is native landscape, it doesn't require a specialized driver. Therefore, Lenovo expects a driver update to be streamlined. So features like AMD Fluid Motion Frames or AMF. Oh, dyslexia, I love you. AFMF2, for example, couldn't be issued directly by AMD because the non-native landscape panel required additional work from Lenovo's driver team. Green acknowledged that more frequent driver updates are an extremely high priority, and Lenovo is actively discussing this with AMD. All right, Legion Go 2 controller compatibility and upgrades. The Legion Go 2's improved and more ergonomic controllers will be available to purchase separately. Cool. Additionally, the new controllers feature independent USB-C charging, at least in the current prototype. Since the rail design, which connects them to the handheld, remains the same, this means Legion Go 1 and Legion Go 2 controllers are interchangeable. The exciting thing about this, you could effectively upgrade your original Legion Go with the wow, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, you could upgrade your original Legion Go with the new controllers. That might be worth doing, y'all. D-pad, yeah, I think I might have to do that. I might have to do that because I'm not going to chunk out my old older handheld PCs. They're just going to get repurposed to different rooms and different setups. All right, D-pads in the Legion Go family have switched to pivot D-pads entirely based on user feedback around fighting games. In a nutshell, this means it should be more reliable to land inputs like QCB, core circle back, and diagonal commands should be more accurate. Yeah, trying to play something like KOF with press inputs or Street Fighter or even Tekken with the original Legion Go was just not happening. Like the original Legion Go S and Legion Go 2 will have both Hall Effects analog sticks and Hall Effect triggers. Okay, we'll watch the trailer shortly. Legion Go 2 cooling speakers, performance dual boot speakers, and release date. See, so I'm going to dump the rest into bullet points since they're mostly bite-sized but still noteworthy takeaways. It says performance for Legion Go S models with a Lenovo exclusive Ryzen Z2 Go processor should sit somewhere between the Steam Deck and original Legion Go with this Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor. Modifications were made to the Legion Go 2 cooling system. Myers says it's an overall better fan and thermal solution. The Legion Go 2 will have a fingerprint reader. Thank you. Oh my god. I got so tired of constantly having to manually input. Like, oh man, thank you. Thank you for putting that in there. Likely integrate into the power button. That's the best place to put it. Legion Go 2 will have bigger speakers, and the team is actively trying to enhance the overall audio experience. Lackluster audio was my biggest gripe with the original Legion Go, so this is welcome news. It's same for me. That was one of my biggest criticism was the D-pad and them jank ass teeny sounding speakers. It says when asked if users can dual boot Windows 11 and SteamOS, it says most likely we'll never be able to ship a dual boot Legion Go from the factory, but there will be possibility to load both and set up dual boot. You know people are going to do that. So this doesn't come from the live stream, but Warren's mentioning. When asked about more specific release timing for the Legion Go 2, a Lenovo representative on the show floor at CES said, "We're aiming for the second half of 2025. Like I said, between September and December is when this is going to drop. All right, so that's it for that. And just my final thoughts as we're closing in on an hour with this episode, and thank y'all for taking time and for sitting through and for enjoying the show so far. It's good to be back. I feel good, getting back in the saddle and everything like that. But let's talk some more. Let's talk some more about this. All right, so I don't have any issue with the lowered resolution. I think that was a smart move because putting the resolution they had on it, the original Legion Go, just didn't make sense when you couldn't really maximize that with current generation games. You only technically utilize that with previous generation, consoles, emulation, and such. Older generation games, specifically games that are like 2.5 generations old, specifically like PS3, 360 era, maybe early Xbox One, PS4 era that got games that got ported to PC. But other than that, I didn't really care about the higher screen. So going down to the 1200p screen, I'm fine with that. Better audio for both the Legion Go S and Legion Go 2. You can't go wrong with front firing speakers. That was one of the weakest things with the Lenovo Legion Go, so I'm glad that they decided to upgrade that. The other thing too, they fixed the D-pad, which is my biggest. You guys know I'm a massive fighting game fan. I mean, I literally have this Victrix Tekken 8 edition limited edition controller. If y'all want to pick this up, I'll leave links in the description. Backpack, and in it, if I can find it, in it, I got my fight sticks. So I play a lot of fighting games, right? I'm a big fighting game player. The fact that they fixed that D-pad means that that's gonna be my go-to. I'm gonna be playing Street Fighter 6 on the go, Guilty Gear, Strive, Eunice or Under Night and Birth 2. I'm gonna be playing Tekken 8. Definitely gonna be playing Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, and whenever we get Virtua Fighter 6 on the go. This is gonna be it. And yeah, I'm gonna throw Dead or Alive 5 last round and 6 in there because we gotta have our titty bopping in there too. It's a good fighting game. Y'all need to get past being triggered by seeing titties bounce. I mean, if you ever seen a big titty girl, they just go all over the place as it is. So it is what it is. Unless she's wearing like a support bra or something to hold them in place. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna be playing a lot of fighting games, a lot of platformers, a lot of my retro games with that improved D-pad. That's enough to pull me in. And then just the better ventilation, and circulation of heat distribution. I never really had heating issues with the Lenovo Legion Go, but the fact that they even improved it further, I'm all for it. And just overall as a whole, I think offering the Lenovo Legion Go in both the Windows and in the SteamOS variations is brilliant, and also offering the Legion Go 2 with the options that it has, with the OLED screen and the higher performing power, that is going to be a bit of a leap. And I'm curious to see how Acer's Nitro devices and Dell, whenever they decide to have Alienware put out their thing, um, I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. But all that being said, I think if I'll touch on this one last time. Pricing. So Legion Go S, the estimated price from rumors and leaks and whatnot is $499, which I think is fair. So it's $500 device. Yeah, people might be like, "Oh, you're gonna get that? Might as well get a console." Some people just want PC gaming on the go, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you're gonna pay $500 for a Steam Deck, why not pay $500 for this? Legion Go 2, I definitely see that being a $700 to $800 product, especially with such a big performance jump from the Legion Go. And also the battery. And going from a 49.5 watt hour battery to 74. Yeah, we're gonna be getting some games in with that. But it's worth the upgrade. Now, the question you're probably gonna have is, if you already have the Legion Go, if you already have a Legion Go and a Steam Deck, or you just have a Steam Deck, or you have an RG Ally, you have an MSX Claw, or whatever have you, or any of the million Ioneo devices, should you buy this? I don't know. Fucking make up your own goddamn decision. You gonna buy it or not? Can't. I get so tripped out when people always ask the question, "Oh, should I buy it?" Motherfucker, I don't know. You want to buy it? Then goddamn it, go buy it. Shit, don't ask me to tell you what to do with your fucking money. It's like somebody walking up to me and being like, you should buy this. I'm gonna be like, motherfucker, this is my money. I will buy what I want to buy with my money. And that's how y'all should be too. Whatever you want to do, make sure you do it and utilize it to your benefit. If you want to spend the money, spend the money. If you don't, you don't. That's all it is to it. But all that being said, guys, we're back. We just covered the Legion Go S and Legion Go 2. And it feels good to be back. We're going to have more episodes. I will be back with another one. Probably, I'm gonna try and get back to the once a week format, although we might start doing 2 episodes a week. Y'all let me know in the comments on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, as well as on YouTube. Let me know what y'all want, and then we'll make it happen, okay? So that being said, feels good to be back. Thank y'all for taking your time. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, sub to the channel if you haven't already, ding the notification bell, drop a comment, let me know what you think. And we are signing out. Be blessed. Peace out. And we hope.